The hottest bans of the last shitpost came from Ryan M and Vlad the Impaler of your mom. And I'm also going to give that username a gold star. If you would like to see your bant, or maybe Jazz's bant. On second thought, let's not go with Jazz. Alright, let's try this again. If you'd like to see your hot banter, maybe Carlton's hot band featured in the next shitpost, let me know in the comments down below.
Oh shit, here we go again.
First off the fucket list, the viewer's choice poll is done. The winners from the poll were Lisa the Painful and Celeste. However, this is the dark side of the internet, and when it comes to polls, you can always count on one thing. Phil will find the excuse to change it to play the game that he wants. Let's see what happened this time.
Viewer's choice is going to determine not one, but two playthroughs that I'm going to be doing in the near future. Because we hit the subs goal, not tier 1, but tier 2.
One of the longest running mysteries on the dark side of the internet is to find out why Phil needs to put a stupid upward inflection on every time he says 2. Maybe we'll never find the answer. Maybe we're not supposed to find the answer. Regardless though, it's still pretty annoying.
For the month of March, and that means 2 viewer's choice playthroughs, alright?
Did Phil Paul just say 2 normally?
Seriously? Now, the problem here is that there was a lot of vote tampering during the polling. I was checking this out, and when I was looking at the polling, I noticed that there were certain days that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, seemingly unprompted, within a very short period of time, there'd be like 30 to 40 votes coming in for a single game. And so I looked into those accounts, only to find out that many of those accounts were clone accounts under the same IP address. And I was like, this is obvious what was happening. Someone was sitting there creating clone accounts and then sitting there and spam voting for certain games.
Well, yeah, Dark, if someone didn't do that, then you wouldn't get a lot of votes on your poll.
Lisa the Painful. Excuse me. By the way, my throat is not painful. I should call this out. My throat doesn't hurt at all. It's just stupidly swollen because of the allergies. So don't worry about me. Oh, God, Phil sounds like he's in pain. I'm not in any pain at all. I just gotta wait for the swelling to go down, which could take a while, because it was so irritated from yesterday. All right. So anyway, taking a look at the voting, Lisa the Painful was a game that was the top vote over. I think it was like over 120 votes according to the poll. Well, after looking into the detailed poll results, guess what? Over 60 votes were fake.
How convenient is that? Wow.
So, maybe about half of the votes were fake.
How convenient is fucking that?
That's pretty sad, isn't it? That's really pretty sad that many people were trying to cheat and get that game to be the game that I played. Now, I looked into the game, and I don't know why that's the case at all. From what I'm to understand, Lisa the Painful is a turn-based RPG that's very difficult, but it plays kind of like almost like Earthbound, but maybe way more adult-oriented.
Not as sad as you weaseling out of something and then crying fake votes. And are you saying that Earthbound didn't have mature shit in it? Earthbound had the police brutality, the cult shit, that creepy-ass final area that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Where your characters can easily die, and you can lose limbs, Like, I was looking into it, and I was like, I don't think that this is a game that's like, were they trying to troll? If they were, I don't get it. You know what I mean? If anything, maybe they were just trying to get an obscure game that most people never heard of to be noticed on my streams.
Don't worry, Dark. People already know about Lisa the Painful.
Because apparently the game came out in like 2014, so you're talking a 6-year-old game that I've never heard of before that I would play on my stream.
All the more reason to give it a shot, Phil. Worst case scenario, you don't like it, you shit on it next pre-stream and the dark side of the internet keeps spinning. Best case scenario, you find a cool game you like.
You know, so I don't know. I don't get it. But in reality, Lisa the Painful didn't even make like the top 5 in the votes. It was all fake votes, which is pretty sad. I also noticed there were some fake votes for Diddy Kong Racing, for Celeste. For some reason, Celeste had a lot of fake votes. I have no idea why it had so many fake votes.
Of course, Celeste, the game that won number 2, the hard as hell precision platformer that has themes of depression, but somehow magically got a bunch of troll votes.
Really makes you think.
That blew me away. But basically, after deleting all of the fake votes, and once the dust settled, all right, the outright winner of the Viewer's Choice poll is Banjo Tooie. And Banjo Tooie had no fake votes at all. 0.
Really?
From looking at, you know, everything there, the votes were all legit.
What a coincidence.
You're gonna do another rare collectathon platformer just after you bungled your way through DK64.
100%. I didn't see a single like clone account or anything. They were all legit. And Banjo Tooie had more than 100 votes.
Well, this shit just activated my X to Doubt trap card because I don't believe there's even 100 people active on Phil's forums. Some people say, and by some people I mean me, say that the King of Hate forums is the morgue of the dark side of the internet. It's where shit goes to metaphorically die, or be super lame, one of the two.
Alright, lozenge acquired. Hopefully this will make me sound better. Alright, so, yeah, Banjo Tooie won the poll outright. With, from what I can see, no fake voting at all. Okay, Banjo Tooie.
You can hear the lozenge roll around in his mouth. Come on, man, you're on air. Also, that's fucking disgusting.
Now you may say, okay, well, it's a platformer, it's a collectathon, you know, similar to Donkey Kong 64, which Phil played recently. It's certainly not as bad. In fact, when I was playing Donkey Kong 64, everyone was telling me that Banjo Tooie is a much better game and they wish that I would play that game. So the good news is I'll be playing it because I have it in the Rare Replay collection on my Xbox One. So that's definitely going to happen. All right. Now, what was second place? Well, after the dust settled and after I cleared out all the fake voting, ladies and gentlemen, the game that came in second place is... Hold on. Fire Emblem Three Houses. What? What the fuck?
You're now gonna play Fire Emblem Three Houses? After you avoided it all last year like it was the fucking plague? Oakley dokley, Phil, just be prepared. It's a tactics RPG with anime vibes. That's 2 of your least favorite things, anime shit and having to think. But this is the second place poll winner, meaning this shit's not gonna get played right away. And I reckon he's gonna push it off as far as he fucking can.
Yeah, the game from last summer that you guys wanted me to play and I didn't play. Because number one, I didn't know much about Fire Emblem. And number two, I was in the midst of so many other projects that kind of ran long that I just didn't want to play it.
We're calling your weak-ass playthroughs projects now, Phil?
What a dumbass!
What even fucking planet are you on, Dave? Little Timmy from down the block's homemade potato clock is more of a project than your garbage content will ever be.
So I know that some people will be happy about that, and some people will be frustrated about that.
Yeah, that's usually how things go.
Okay? So, a lot of people said it was one of the best games of last year. And I missed out on it because I just, didn't feel like playing it. Now, the truth of the matter is, I have never played a Fire Emblem game, to my knowledge. I might have played one on a handheld console years and years ago, but I can't even remember, honestly.
Might as well justify getting your handheld way before you play the game. That's being efficient right there. Nope.
But the Fire Emblem characters are basically a staple of the Smash Brothers franchise, right?
Oh shit.
Like the Fire Emblem characters are always not guest characters, but fighters in Smash Brothers, and I don't know who the fuck they are. I'm just like, it's another medieval looking anime guy or girl with a sword, right? So this could be interesting, all right, to see how this goes. You know, I don't know how long the game is. It's an RPG, so apparently it's going to be super fucking long, right? So here's the deal. Right now I'm in the midst of 2 new releases, Final Fantasy VII and Neo 2. Those are going to take priority. But, as early as next week, we're going to start up with Banjo Tooie, because that's going to be the first viewer's choice game that we play, all right?
What did we learn from this long piece of exceptionalism? Nothing. Dark always fucking does this. He always tries to find an excuse and weasel out of the poll, but eventually he's gonna run out of excuses. Then again, the pay piggies are fucking stupid.
My name is Nick Gurr.
Monday is 420 day.
Just fucking do it!
Spend your day right, chilling with me on stream, with Neo 2 and a trip to the Nether in Minecraft.
And I get why Phil's doing this. He's done this in the past with other random internet holidays, along with D-Day, which was a super classy move, but however, we're here to talk about 420. And for some reason, Phil wanted you to know that that was the dankest day. With another reminder coming in the second Neo 2 hype tweet, and another in the pre-stream.
Happy 420.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, 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 no.
That's right. I know for an entire culture of people.
I understand what he's trying to say. However, it also sounds like he's talking about some weird indigenous tribe.
Today is like a special day. The 420 culture blazing it. High times, baby.
And then he's gonna try to sell the humor segment with a giggle.
Fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
So for me, 420 is pretty much nothing. As you guys know, I do not partake in the wacky tobacco.
The wacky tobacco? Are you fucking kidding me, Phil? Next thing you know, shit's gonna go black and white. He's gonna start calling them jazz cigarettes.
A concerned eagle took me $1.30, so I don't understand. You glorify weed, but you don't smoke it, so people would think you're a poser.
He doesn't really glorify it, he just brings it up a lot to pander to his audience.
You don't, just because you're being silly and you're celebrating something.
Aw, come on, dude. Don't hide behind the silly excuse. Every time you use the word silly, it makes me think you're a children's entertainer. And remember, according to you,
I'm a mature adult, and I'm not a children's entertainer. Time to grow the fuck up.
Because people, you know, celebrating today doesn't mean that I'm a poser.
Kinda does, Dave. You kinda look like a big gay poser when you constantly bring up that it's 420, then you backpedal with, oh, I don't smoke though, dude.
I told you guys I don't really care about the culture. It's fine. If you like that culture, it's okay with me. If you don't, it's also okay with me. I'm okay with it. I live in a state where weed is legal, and there's tons of people who are smoking weed, so I'm not going to be biased against it. That doesn't mean I need to like it, right?
Psst, Phil, your boomer is showing.
That'd be like saying, I'm straight edge, but I hate anyone who drinks or smokes, because I'm straight edge and you should be too. That's so conceited and stupid, you know? My belief is everything in moderation. You know what I mean?
Philip Paul Burnell practicing moderation.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Between poor spending habits, gin, and the wrestle shit, Phil is the fucking antonym of moderation.
There you go. I've named it 420 Blaze It. So let this blaze rod commemorate today, 4/20/2020.
Are we really gonna Y pose for 420?
The day when we conquered the Nether.
Conquered is a very exaggerated way to put it.
We went across the Nether, we built a path, right? We found another fortress, we conquered the fortress for the first time ever. We will commemorate it with this 420 Blaze It rod on 420 Blaze It Day. How cool is that?
Not cool, because who fucking calls it 420 Blaze It Day? The only theory I can come up with is that Phil is a space alien sent here to observe humans. Like a garbage tier invader Zim.
A blaze rod, 420 Blaze It rod. Alright, you're right, we should make it frame. Of course, I don't know how the fuck to do that, and I don't have the ingredients to do it either. How do you do that? Anyone know? How do you make a frame? Oh shit, I gotta sleep. Alright, let me go sleep while I wait for somebody to tell me how to make a frame.
Oh, come on, Phil. You know what to do. You can either pull out your phone, or as we learned from last week, you can go to the fucking crafting bench and it tells you. Or you could shake the bag you keep Papa Vera in until he helps you. All those ideas are better than you just sitting there with your thumbs up your ass going, what can I do? Oakley dokley, we got one more 420 clip. Let's hope I can find the strength to get through it.
That's pretty cool. It says 420 Blaze It on it, right?
Oh yeah, dude, it's so cool you put a name tag on an item. Your reward's on its fucking way.
So yeah, that commemorates our April 20th, 2020 session of Minecraft. Pretty neat. That's pretty neat, admittedly. I like that we have something to commemorate our going to the Nether and actually handling it for the very first time. Alright. Very cool.
Alright, Phil, you can have your Minecraft equivalent of the Junior Explorer's Cub Scout badge. You can even pin it on your vest.
Well, guess what? It's about me getting ahead, brother. It's about me surviving and getting ahead. Me. Snow Curl Trees, how about if we meet today's tip skull, you cancel next day's break? No, I need a break.
Oh, Phil, I get it. Don't worry, laddie. It's a lot of work. You gotta sit there and hold the plastic. Not to mention you gotta wiggle your thumbs and sometimes your index fingers. Not to mention he has to think. Also remind himself to breathe. Yeah, I could totally see why he needs a break. That's a lot for him.
How dare you? Snowcrawl, you're doing it again. I'm telling you right now, Snowcrawl, you're fucking doing it again. You want me to cancel the break that's there so that I don't have issues being sedentary all day, stretching my limbs, getting a drink, seeing my wife? You're being a jerk. Snowcrawl, I don't understand how you don't understand how stupid this is. Stop it right fucking now. Because I don't want to have to permanently ban you, but I'm having enough of your shit. Yeah, cancel the fucking break. Oh my god. Snowcrawl! Dude, I'm serious now.
But Phil, that's the one thing nobody can take you serious. Especially when we're wearing our sad stepdad vest and looking down the barrel of the camera.
Fucking stop it. Stop it now.
God, you're an idiot.
Ah, Phil, you just don't fucking learn. Crying for them to stop only makes them want to fuck with you more.
I will fucking put the controller down and ban your ass on the fucking spot if you don't shut the fuck up with this nonsense.
That's not really a tall threat when you can easily just make a sock account. Or just email beg to get unbanned.
I've had it. Cutting out the break of the stream is bad for my fucking health.
Really, Dave? We're gonna cry about our health? We're 38 years old, not 68.
How is that good? Oh, that's a positive change. I've had enough of your shit. So just shut up now. Oh my god. Retro Jim Tree said, I don't think Snowcrawl considered that side of it. Snowcrawl doesn't consider the side of a lot of stuff, trust me.
I'm no expert or anything, but that sounds like a little bit of a piggy projection.
He really doesn't. He just talks out of his ass.
I'm gonna refer you boys to my last bant.
It's very fucking annoying. He's gonna make it sound like I purposely don't want to make a positive change to the stream, when in reality, it's a change that would be very negative for the stream because it would personally hurt me.
How in the fuck would not taking your 30-minute poop/JO break hurt you? Because every time you say these little things hurt you or these little things bother you, it makes you look fucking weaker and weaker. And right now, you're so fucking weak, I reckon that a dead fetus could beat you in a push-up contest.
Albert Aponte to me $2.30 says, I understand. Basically, you have like an hour or so between streams to eat and rest and maybe take a midday nap.
I thought he was talking about his short-term breaks in between gameplay and the pre-stream. Sorry I messed that one up, boys.
It depends on the day. It really does, because some days I'm cooking, some days I'm not. If it's the day that I'm cooking, I have way less time. If it's the day that my wife has to go to work early, like today, basically, we eat, but then I have to clean up after dinner because she has to get to work. So I'm the one who washes the dishes.
Oh my god, Phyllis will do the dishes. That's so scary.
Who cleans the kitchen, who throws out the trash, etc. And then, anything else I need to do with Jasper, or if I have to take a shower, maybe I have to set stuff up, maybe I have personal stuff I need to do between the streams, etc. And yes, sometimes I do get a break of a little bit to relax. Sometimes if I want to, I'll take a nap. That's very rare that I would get a chance to take a nap during a stream or anything like that. Or between the streams is what I meant to say. But yeah, so I adjourned my stream at 4.
Why the hell are you using the word adjourn, Phil? This isn't Law and Order Spurgy Victims Unit.
I'm not out of this office typically until 4:30. Then I eat, clean up after dinner and everything, so you're talking probably all the way up to like 5:30. Then I maybe have an hour before I have my next stream. So do I shower? Do I do stuff around the house? I don't have a lot of time to just kind of sit around. I'm always moving. And then after the late stream, I gotta upload or whatever, and my wife's home by 10, so... Roger and Love Machine did a 100-bit cheer. He said, why would you go full length to threaten Snow Carl? Control your anger a little bit.
Phil had to put Snow Carl in his quote-unquote place, because in Phil's eyes, Snow Carl was giving him shit. And since Dave has that WWE mindset, he's gotta throw down, gotta look tough in front of the pay piggies and the wheelchairs.
Because he does this every day. You don't seem to understand. Snow Carl has been given a million chances, yet he always tries to goad and prod and annoy, and he says things he knows are stupid or annoying or bad suggestions. Like, oh, why don't you just completely cut out your break for the day? Oh, you mean so I get overtired, so I probably could hurt myself for being sedentary for several hours on end?
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Without getting risking heart fucking disease.
Now, I'm no doctor or anything, but I reckon the food that you put into your body and the lack of exercise is doing more damage to your long-term health than you sitting there for 8 hours a day playing video games. I think you're just reaching for any little excuse you can find, which is usually what Dark does.
Or clots in my goddamn arteries. You know, don't pee, don't see my wife. And these are great suggestions, real positive suggestions.
Yo, Einstein, you got any bright ideas?
The reality it's not, and he knows that. And he does it on purpose to get my fucking goat. And I'm not gonna put up with that shit anymore. He was just unbanned, and he's gonna start saying dumb shit like this again. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not putting up with this stuff. I've been way too lenient with people.
Well, it's pretty easy to be lenient when you have no backbone.
Retro Jim says, do you think Snow Carl's overly enthusiastic with suggestions, but he may mean well? It actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's well-intentioned or not. He's annoying. And he has to understand that, and he has to stop. He has to learn. He can't keep distracting me and pissing me off during streams. I have to be able to put out a fun and productive stream for everyone, and not get annoyed every 5 seconds by something he says. So he needs to fucking chill out.
A little piece of advice, Dave, learn to chill. I got a feeling that Snow Carl's gonna be around for a while, whether under his real name, under a sock account name, or over on a restream, because the dark side of the internet's good at one thing, pulling people in and keeping them there for as long as fucking possible.
The next day. Special announcement. Since tomorrow's Final Fantasy VII Remake stream will begin late. Once gameplay begins, there will be no breaks.
Phil, you make me angry, Phil!
No need to walk away to stir/season the sauce, as Kat has mastered it.
Your wife's been around for 2 years and all you bring up about her is how she loves to cook and clean. I reckon she's mastered your sauce a long time ago. And it's not fucking quantum mechanics to master your shitty sauce. Do you boys hear that out in the distance? That sounds like the art form of cuisine dying. And we're gonna get out of the metaphorical sauce before it gets us.
Okay. By the way, I should say this. Someone has told me, I don't know if they want me to publicly say it or not.
If you're unsure about talking about something publicly, maybe you should ask the other person privately if it's okay.
That they may be working on something special.
Or you can act like a complete dumbass and blurt it out.
Like if we get a 50 vest streak, someone may be working on something really special. So.
Oh, gee fucking willikers, I wonder what it could be. My big guesses are a new design for his Teespring, or he actually goes through with doing a vest fest, and he's getting some like custom art done for it. My stupid meme theory is that Phil bought Kat a vest and Jasper a vest, and now they're gonna be a weird vest family.
Hey, by the way, I told you guys earlier today, I think we may have someone who's working on something special as a celebratory event if we hit 50 straight vest streaks.
If you're using words like I think or I may, then you definitely shouldn't have been talking about it, because that means shit's not set in stone. But of course, Dave's gonna run his mouth because that's what gets the pay piggies excited. The dude's gonna hype up the reward for the vest streak like it's Elder fucking Rado.
Gee, thanks for the money, dummy. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I have to confirm that later this week, but yeah, thank you. Let's get the vest on.
I got a funny feeling he's going to hit the 50 vest streak. However, it's going to get real fucking interesting after that. I got a feeling that Dave's greed's going to get the better of him, and somehow the pay piggies are going to get burnt out on this vest thing. And then he's going to move on to those gunner glasses, and it's not going to be the same thing.
Thank you to the person who sent me all the advice. Some people in the stream chat are yelling and screaming, go fuck yourselves. Seriously, I mean that.
What the hell is this guy? You Y-posing to establish your dominance? It's kind of hard to do that when you're the biggest beta in gaming.
I'm tired of it. So, I played the game, honestly up to this point, using everything I've learned. I'm still succeeding, I'm winning. Someone gives me a little bit of advice, says, Phil, just tweak what you're doing a little bit more. It'll make the game, a little bit easier for you. Try these different things. Okay, I'll try them. You took advice. You fucker. You did it. Fuck off. Everyone who plays games on Twitch does this.
Yeah, given, but how many of them have to put the controller down, have a good cry until somebody helps them in their stream chat? No other streamer gets carried more in games than DSP.
Everyone takes advice from their audience. I did not take hand-holding advice the entire playthrough. I have not built my entire build based off of the advice of the viewer. Instead, I had a build that I created on my own. I wanted to use lightning. I wanted to use the switchglaive. I wanted it to be a magic build. So I did all those things myself. Now, 5/7 through the playthrough, a viewer contacts me and says, here's just a few tips of advice that'll make things a little bit easier for you. Oh, you took advice, Phil. How dare you? It's not a legit playthrough. Fuck you. And I mean that. If you're just here to sit here and bitch.
Phil, that's what you do. You sit there and bitch all day. The only difference is you're holding a piece of plastic for most of it.
Go away. No one cares about you. We're here to have fun with this game. We're not here to sit people whining and saying the get good mentality.
But that get good attitude is what makes these games great. Pussy's not apply, know what I mean?
Fuck off. Tired of the shit. I'm not putting up with that shit on my streams. I swear to God, if I see people complaining, you're out of here. And I'm serious. I'm looking right now. The first person here who complains about this, get the fuck out. I'm gonna ban you. I'm not putting up with it. Now, I know people on YouTube are probably laughing hilariously, like, this is so stupid Phil has to say this. I know.
I think what's funnier here, Phil, is that you can't handle a couple people giving you shit in stream chat, and now you're gonna sit here in ban camp, which makes you look super tough, by the way.
How ridiculous is it that I can't just play games the way I want? Instead, I gotta have people constantly over my shoulder. Fuck off.
If you don't like people over your shoulder telling you what to do when you're playing a game, then don't broadcast it live to the internet, where anyone and everyone can fucking see it and give an opinion on it. You fucking dumbass.
This playthrough, I've now been playing over 40 hours.
Damn, Dave. 40 hours deep and we're still fucking playing. I know there's torturing your audience, but come on, man. That's gotta violate at least 3 articles of the Geneva Convention.
I got very far by myself. If I want to take a few tips near the end of the game.
Phrasing?
I'll take a few tips near the end of the game.
Phrasing?
So, tough shit if you don't like that. Don't watch the rest of the playthrough. And definitely do not harass me in my fucking stream chat. I'm not putting up with that shit anymore. Okay. One person down. There we go. Alright, here we go. It's 2. I wasn't kidding. Let's see who else wants to do it.
You think when Phil goes on these little banning sprees, he feels like the Punisher?
Like I'm joking. Like I'm fucking around here. I'm not fucking around. I just want to enjoy the game. I'm tired of people who think they can tell me how to play games and do stupid shit.
Then stop streaming. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Listen. The entire playthrough was me trying to flip through it and figure it out for myself.
Most people usually do that in reverse though, Phil. In the beginning of a game, you're gonna bungle up, you're gonna need a lot of help, get some advice, and then by the end, you're standing on your own, you're doing solid. Here's just another example of how warped Phil's perspective is about his own quote-unquote job.
Now at the very end of the playthrough, I probably got, like I was telling people, maybe like a few major streams left of this. I want to take some advice. Oh, how dare you take advice? Fuck you. No, I'm done with it. Not putting up with that shit anymore. Everyone else can take advice, but not Phil. No, fuck off. Because the hilarious part about all that is, oh, see, Phil's playing the game wrong. He didn't do this right. He didn't do this right. Someone actually tells me some things for improvement to do it right. Oh, you see, Phil took advice. So that's no good. Fuck you. It's not. You can't have it both ways. All right. So it seems like things have calmed down. See that?
Well, no fucking shit, Dark. If a baby's crying really loud in a restaurant, everyone's gonna take notice. If the streamer is having a good bitch fit during a stream, chat's gonna notice. And then assholes like me can laugh at you about it.
See that? But I'm sure people will try to complain, especially if I start doing well, even though I've been doing well the whole time. I just one-shotted a major story boss that I'd never seen before, and everyone complains, so, whatever. I've had enough of this shit.
I love how he goes on this whole fucking tangent and he ends it with him one-shotting a boss. Like that one little thing is enough for everyone just to forget this whole thing. But the moral of the story, Phil, when you broadcast yourself on the internet or do stupid shit, people are gonna point, they're gonna laugh, they're gonna criticize, they're gonna backseat game. It's the internet, they could basically do whatever. Unless it's your chat, then they're gonna get sent to ban world.
To tell the truth, I'm actually a virgin.
If you boys remember from the last shitpost, Phil was hyping up the cross-dressing scene from Final Fantasy VII. Well, we finally got to that part, so let's just take this one clip at a time.
So, I'm curious because in Final Fantasy VII, the original, there's a lot of cringeworthy stuff that happens around this point, and I don't know how much they've actually included and how much they haven't. I will not say anything until we reach the end of this segment, and then I'll tell you what I think, and I'll also tell you about how it happened in the original Final Fantasy VII. Okay?
Gotta give Phil credit, at least he knows that most of his audience wasn't even alive when Final Fantasy VII came out.
Now here comes the best part of the game by far, right now. If you're playing Final Fantasy, this is what you're playing it for. Right now, this moment. Here we go. Oh, fabulous. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is great.
Aw, come on, man. Why do you gotta do your bad optics, stereotypical homosexual voice? Every time you pull it out for every gay character, it always makes you look really fucking bad. Or in best case scenarios, fucking stupid.
Why is she so excited? You were born for this. Oh my god. The pedestal is lifting. Oh my god.
Philip Paul Burnell is a 38-year-old man. Finds it necessary to cover his eyes like a mom does to a child when a sex scene happens in a PG-13 movie. Shit, now I'm starting to think I'm bullying a child. Or at least someone who has the mind of a child.
Dancing Queen Trophy. Dancing Queen. Time for more dancing.
No, Phil, they're all gonna stop dancing and do their taxes instead.
Wow.
True beauty is an expression of the heart. A thing without shape, to which notions of gender don't apply.
I'm no fucking expert or anything, but that seems like it's a pretty solid impact point of this whole situation. Hopefully Phil can find some value in that quote, if he was even paying attention.
Don't ever be afraid.
We gotta put our hands back in our head because we can't fucking handle it. Loves WWE, which is half-naked man-hugging. We gotta avert our eyes for Cloud in a dress.
Final Fantasy, everybody! Final Fantasy! Grandiose fantasy on a higher level! It's so fun!
I can dance too! How much did you drink tonight?
Jinkies, dude, you doing that made you look super fucking douchey. Oh man, stop running bad optics. It's only digging yourself a deeper hole.
I can't help it. It was amazing.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm controlling the air and I didn't even know.
Probably not. Did you see their look of surprise?
What am I doing? Hold on a second. Oh, just to walk forward. What the hell? No, this isn't the right way. Where am I going? Oh, man. It says this is the... Wait? It says this is the goal. What? Huh? What am I doing? I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't get it. What the hell am I doing? It says the goal is right here, but there's nothing here. It won't. I don't get it. Look, I can't go in. Beast Bod to me $1 says that's definitely better than the original, right? Oh, it's superb, spectacular, amazing. Again, I'm gonna not say nothing until the segment's over because we're still in the midst of the segment. What am I supposed to be doing? There's nobody here. Look. I still don't understand it. What's going on? Oh, I was supposed to walk over here.
Ah, finally, Phil. But it is glad to know in this mire of you being a super douche, you're still a fucking idiot.
Please don't. Not a word.
Not even one?
God.
No!
But you're so pretty.
Such flowers for my father.
Wow.
More eye covering, followed by stupid giggling, like we're in the second fucking grade or something.
Alright, anyway. Let's get this over with.
No way.
Here you are. Letters from Andrea Rodea and Madam M. That ought to do the trick, right?
You serious?
Is there a problem?
I hope you know what you're in for.
Ha!
Oh, we'll be fine.
Damien O'Malskador Charity
said
said,
so.
on that day, Charlie discovered puberty. And Sundance McGee here said, you're handling those heels like a pro. That's right. You know, this is, Cloud's been practicing. I said he's been practicing dancing, proper etiquette. Oh my god.
The two of you here for the audition? Second floor, at the very end of the wall.
Whoa,
And
look at
don't
these
go poking your
decorations.
nose in where it doesn't
Is this
belong.
with coral? A giant piece of coral. Look at that. There's all hidden chests. Nothing. No hidden items here. Oh my god.
That one's Madam M's girl.
Oh yeah, someone's wondering if I can figure out who voices the Don. Oh yeah, is it a well-known voice actor?
I'll give you a hint, Phil. If your boomer ass can't figure it out, then I have no hope for you.
In for you to show.
The Corneo lackey. Nothing over there, no items.
Girl? I'd let her do things
No.
to me. Go to your room and wait. Quiet.
No? They're not letting me... Oh, this is the room. Here it is.
Room's at the end. Keep walking.
I'm pretty sure they cut a part out. And I remember this other part that's really, really fucking cringe. And I think that part's completely gone because I think we already got past that part. I'll talk about it later. Just in case I don't spoil. I don't want to spoil.
What's that weird, sweet smell? And why do I feel so dizzy?
Gas. Come on.
Gas. They're gassing though.
Damn it.
Cloud.
It's a trap.
So, you could have let us doing, feeling a little lightheaded, but we can't have that. Let's say we escort you to the parlor, so you can make yourself a little comfortable.
They fucking gassed them beforehand. That's fucked up.
Where are you taking us?
Come on now, Oxy Daisy. Hey, together with care, asshole. The hell? You want to throw down the Corneo girl? So if you leave a mark on him, you ain't getting off with one. I know. Managed to ring up some real lookers this time, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god. What the hell's this music now? Now it sounds like fucking, Kill Bill.
Beautiful ladies, time to line up for the Don.
Dude, it sounds just like the soundtrack of Kill Bill.
Wait, you look kind of familiar. We haven't met before, have we?
No.
Mm-mm.
Whatever. All right, y'all good to go? Then let's do this thing. Introducing Walmart's most eligible
Oh, boy.
bachelor, the one and only Don Corneo. Ladies?
Jesus Christ, look at this guy.
I don't know, dude, but you know who he does kind of look like? This streamer who's been doing it for a really long time. Content fucking sucks, but he at least gets like a couple hundred viewers. I know he used to play a lot of fighting games, but the name's just fucking escaping me. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Very nice. Whichever one shall I pick? Oh. Shall I pick you?
Disgusting freak. Lech, gross motherfucker.
Or maybe you? Yeah.
No! First he picks Cloud. Kinda looks like Mel Brooks a little bit in the face structure. It reminds me of President Scrooge from Spaceballs with the curly mustache.
I've got it. Today's bride to be is.
Today's?
And tomorrow's, or the day after's, if the Don takes a shine to you.
Pathetic.
Oh!
Which
Pathetic.
one of you said that?
I did, you little shit.
Oh, that was Phil's attempt at a tough guy voice? That's wholesome.
Slug.
Ooh, you got a mouth on you. I'm gonna enjoy breaking it in. Today's lucky lady is the big bone girl. Huh? Still playing hard to get? I can dig it. Oh yeah.
He's gonna beat the living shit out of him in the next room.
Leftovers are all yours. Yeah!
Oh man.
Okay, ladies. Y'all coming with me.
And they're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Don't be shy, little kitten. Shimmy on over and give Daddy some sugar. No need to play coy. Nobody here but you and me. Oh, you're even cuter than I thought.
Back off.
Woo!
See pictures of the camera control.
I love it.
What was that?
Don't you worry your pretty little head. Just a picture to preserve the moment. And to ensure you don't do anything inappropriate like say no.
Asshole.
Oh,
That's what photographers
praise me
used to
more.
use, right? Take pictures in a studio.
Hey, yo, fellas. We got guests. And y'all got first crack at entertaining them.
They're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Courtesy of the ever-generous Don Corneo himself. Never forget, the Don provides.
Yeah. Good day! Oh!
So, ladies, ready to get to it?
Yeah. I guess I'm good to go whenever. How about you, Tifa? 4 guys between us.
She doesn't have her staff to cast magic though, right?
Right.
Wait. I know you. The Colosseum.
God!
Get down!
Roundhouse kick.
Don't you stupid!
Steel chair. Steel chair shot.
You see, Dave, the whole Walmart kit section wasn't a waste. You got some wrestle.
Good job, Eric. It was nothing compared to you.
Shout out to Baldy who resubscribed for 10 months. I said double-digit resub, thanks for the great content. You're welcome, Baldy. Thank you for the support. And Fly Eagles Fly, thank you for 100 bit cheers. Says thanks to the villain from Far Cry. Actually, you're right. He does look like one of the villains from Far Cry. Yeah, look, he actually is working with them. Because he hates Corneo.
Just finish the job.
Yep, he hates him.
Thank you.
Solid Fantasy says this is like the scene in Pulp Fiction where Bruce Willis was taking forever to save someone from getting raped. What was it? It was what's his name? The big dude. I forget his name. They got the actor. But yeah, that was the really fucking weirdo scene from Pulp Fiction. Disgusting. The guy's getting butt fucked. Like, what the fuck?
Tell me what a bad boy I am. Yes, I am! Here I come, baby! Yeah. Hey, who the hell gave you permission to do that? One of you get in here and teach this bitch some manners!
Sorry, but your boys had to learn some manners too. Cloud, you're close.
Now beat the shit out of this guy. This guy totally doesn't get it. He's so stupid. He's like, he's a guy.
So you're a man, huh? What are you three up to?
We'll ask the questions. Like, why'd you have men in Sector 7 asking about Avalanche?
Man. Huh? Don't know what you're talking about.
Don't play dumb with me. Let's try again. Why did you have men in Sector 7 asking about Avalanche? Spill the beans, or...
Just start punching his nuts.
All right. I'll talk. Some guy with a gun for an arm. I was paid to find him.
Paid by who?
I can't tell you that. They'd hunt me down like a dog.
Well, you better. Because if you don't, I'll rip them off.
It was the director of public security, Heidegger. It was Heidegger.
Shinra. And what were they planning?
Some things are better left unsaid, you know.
See, I'm not so sure they are. Better keep talking.
Or I'll smash them.
Oh! Thank you, Unfaced Shade, for 8-month resub. I appreciate that, Unfaced Shade.
All right, you got me. I could never say no to a sexy girl. Since Avalanche blew up 2 reactors, Shinra's decided they ought to stamp them out, home base and all. And I mean stamp out. By targeting the support pillar and blowing it up.
That's right, I remember that.
Did I stutter? The plate will come crashing down. It'll be Sector 6 all over again. I'm sure you've been there and seen the wreckage for yourself. So you know exactly what Sector 7's gonna look like.
They wouldn't.
All the people that live there are gonna die.
Before you do...
No.
Please, this won't take long. As everyone knows, villains only divulge their plans in a certain situation. But what is that situation?
When they're faced with certain death, when they think they've already won, when they've lost their minds, or when they dance in a really creepy fucking fashion that makes me want to throw up. When they think they've already won, that's what it is.
Sorry, time's up. The answer lies in the sewers. Enjoy the sights and smells.
Oh my god.
That was it, dude? You hyped that shit up for weeks.
Oh, I think we're done. I think that's the end of the segment. So, in reality, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, although that was pretty ridiculously cringe. So, actually, my issue with the original Final Fantasy VII is that it's actually even worse than that. It actually is. Like, I'll tell you in a minute once we get past this cutscene. Chapter 10, Rough Waters. We did it. We got out of Chapter 9. We survived. And now we can actually get to the rest of the game that's good.
Are we T-posing in victory because we got through the cross-dressing segment of Final Fantasy VII? You're just the disappointment that keeps on giving.
Thank God. Alright. The sewer, hashtag sewer level. Only we've already been in the sewer once. It's the second time now.
Damn, it reeks.
Is a sewer. Alright, so before we continue.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
Allow me to explain my issue with Wall Market in the original Final Fantasy VII. And also, allow me to explain why I was dreading this part coming up. I mean, I still hated it. I thought it was really fucking annoying. I actually think it's worse than the original Final Fantasy VII, alright? So in the original Final Fantasy VII, the entire segment is treated as like a big running, like, sexual / gay / trans joke. And there's actually another part in there that's even worse than everything we just saw, where Cloud, I guess what it is, if I'm remembering, I could be wrong, but I think that it's supposed to be like a massage parlor or a sauna. And Cloud is told to go in there, and he goes in there, and it's a bunch of giant muscular dudes who are like nude in Speedos. They're oiled up, and then it just like fades to black, and you don't know what happens. It's implied that something sexual happened between Cloud and these people.
So Phil's gonna let a scene he can barely remember ruin a game for him. Well shit, we might as well just watch that scene real quick. That was it. I know I've been saying it a lot this section, but that was fucking it, Phil. My dude, you made it seem like Cloud was gonna get pipered. But what really happened was he shared a bath, a really small bath with a bunch of guys, almost like it was played up for fucking laughs.
Okay? I remember that. And it's like, just think about this. Now, by the way, Wall Market in the original Final Fantasy VII only lasts about half an hour to 45 minutes. Most of what we did in there was added for this version of the game.
Almost like the whole fucking point of this remake is to flesh out what was there in the Final Fantasy VII universe.
So, it's just very fucking weird. Because it's like, you go to this place, it's full of crime, debauchery, sexualized content. Naked dudes are basically doing rub downs or sex with you, who knows. Then you got a segment where Cloud and Aerith have to be taken in by Don Corneo, and Cloud cross-dresses, and actually, if I remember correctly, the segment with Don Corneo and Cloud is even longer, where it's like, he's really going on and on about how sexy he thinks Cloud is and all this.
Yeah, Phil, because it's fucking funny to see the sexual sleazeball fall for a man. That's why it's funny when dudes fall for traps.
It's just really fucking awkward and out of place. And then, yes, the game continues on. You go to the next part. And then after that, literally, not once is it ever spoken of again in the game. It's
holy shit, Phil, use your brain. It's almost like it was a smaller part of a larger narrative. They needed the information. Who had the info? Don Tornado. How do you get close to Don Tornado? You be a chick. Hence you infiltrate via cross-dressing. Shit's just means to an end.
kind of like, that was a really weird, out-of-place segment for Final Fantasy, and why is it in the game?
And you, some middle-aged white guy from the United States, has the authority on what is and what isn't Final Fantasy? Last time I checked, you weren't. Hironobu Sakaguchi. Am I saying that right, Weebs? Sorry if I'm not.
Now, I have two major reasons I don't like the segment. The first is because it's so out of place for Final Fantasy. Every Final Fantasy up to now, every once in a while there'll be something silly or over the top. But usually it's like, oh, there's an optional NPC in a town that does something silly or something. It's never like, oh, here's a giant segment of the game you're forced to do that has all this sexualized weird content in it that just seems so bizarre for Final Fantasy. In fact, I would even go as far to say Final Fantasy had always been completely family friendly up until Final Fantasy VII. Then all of a sudden in Final Fantasy VII, they wedge in this segment of just weird, oddball, sexualized content. And I was just like so confused as a teenager. I'm playing it. I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't want that. I didn't enjoy that. I don't know why that's in my Final Fantasy. Okay? The other thing is, alright, in the modern era, in 2020, right?
Oh, get ready, boys. Phil's gonna society bottom text us.
Today, we're far more accepting of people who aren't just fitting the binary of male, female, straight, homosexual. Now we got, trans and everything, completely accepted. And that's fine. I've said many times, I'm 100% accepting of anyone. Be any gender you want to be, however you identify. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine. I don't care. I'm not one of those people.
Now, I may be a straight white guy from the sticks, but you doing your stock gay voice, saying you survived the segment, calling it the worst part of the game, wincing and cringing and crying the whole fucking time, that shit doesn't scream acceptance to me. Aw, man, don't be mad because they made a joke in the fucking 90s. There's no need to fucking do that. That's just bitching to bitch.
Who gives a shit about other people's personal stuff, okay? But in the original Final Fantasy VII, it treated the whole thing like a joke. Like Cloud's cross-dressing, ha ha ha. It's this Japanese style like humor.
Japanese humor? You fucking kidding me, bad take side Phil? People find cross-dressing funny all over the fucking world. You ever heard of Bugs Bunny?
So the question is, how can I help you reposition your brand identity? Answer, we team you up with a hot female co-star.
Usually, I play the female love interest.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello.
About the cross-dressing thing in the past, funny. Today, disturbing.
Lady, if you don't find a rabbit with lipstick amusing, you and I have nothing to say to each other.
Fucking white chicks?
Into the sky, the youth inside, when cats come by, 'cause you know I would take the bombs on my side and just say yeah.
Big Mama, Norman Bates, Monty Python's Life of Brian.
Are there any women here today? Very well. By virtue of the authority vested in me. Oh, lay off. We haven't started yet.
Pee Wee Herman.
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
And the big one, Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello! But nah, Final Fantasy VII's where we draw the line.
Where it's like, oh, it's an uncomfortable situation because he's cross-dressing, ha ha ha. He's a male forced to act like a woman, ha ha ha. It's like, I didn't find that funny.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure today there might be people who see the situation and they're like, well, there are people who actually identify as a different gender than the one that they were born as. And if they see the game treating it as like a big joke, is it really funny? Because there's real people in real life right now forced in these uncomfortable situations, and let's treat the whole thing as a sexualized joke instead. You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually surprised that it was put into the game this way.
Aw man, the twists and turns this clip is taking. We're now gonna virtue signal? Dark, my guy, you are the only one still hung up on a game from the PlayStation 1. Maybe you should take all the % off.
But in reality, I actually think the modernized version handles it better than the original. The original, like I said, the dudes, you know, oiled up dudes that are gonna like freaking, you know, do something to you, gangbang you, or rub you down against your will.
Alright, a couple of things. Those 2 points are on very opposite ends of the spectrum. Also, let's try to use our fucking brains. I don't think Sony would let one of their biggest launches of 1997 be released where there's a scene where their main character gets dicked down. You see what we can accomplish when we use our heads, boys?
And then it fades to black or whatever. It's like so fucking weird. And like, why is that in the game? That wasn't in it. They took it out. And they turned that segment, that awkward segment, into, oh, you know, it's like an Bomani game where you press button presses timed to the music and stuff. They tried to make it more lighthearted in this version, so I actually think it was kind of handled better. And that Don Corneo scene actually wasn't nearly as disgusting and like lecherous as it is in the original Final Fantasy VII, to my knowledge. Okay.
There's another reason why this whole argument's fucking retarded. You barely fucking remember. It would be one thing if he played the game right before 7 came out and he still was hung up on it. Would it be stupid? Yeah. But at least he'd have the game somewhat fresh in his mind and not clouded by years of poor choices.
So, I think this was handled better. Still though, that's so fucking weird. And by the way, like I said, never again in the game will this be mentioned. It's a complete 100% filler. It didn't need to be in the original Final Fantasy VII. It didn't need to be in this one. What it was in the 1990s, this was the first Final Fantasy game to be edgy. They wanted adult content. They wanted to have modernized locations, modernized technology. We have to be like 1990s, so we have to have sex, we have to have, you know, gore and violence, and that's how it was in the 90s. Everything went over the top, you know.
Did this dude like live through the fucking 90s? Because that's not the 90s most people know.
Let me hear you shout, yeah. If you grew up in the 90s, you grew up in the 90s, then you know what I'm about. Then you know what I'm about, yeah. Don't you wish we could rewind? I wish we could, man. I really miss it, cause we having fun all day. Slept all night. Best 10 years of our whole damn lives.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Man, the 90s were great. Bummer I was born in 96 and barely remember it.
I was talking about this on my pre-streams recently, how you had like, okay, Street Fighter. Great, it's a fighting game. Oh, but now you have to have Mortal Kombat, where the women are half naked and the dudes are ripping each other's arms off and shoving them up each other's asses, right? That's how the 1990s was, where I had to take everything and go the extra step to make it edgy or extreme to try to get that teen viewership or that teen demographic.
Sort of like how you go in clown mode and over-exaggerate to attract a younger audience.
And I think that whole segment of the game was literally put into the game so that teenagers would talk to each other and be like, did you hear about that segment in Final Fantasy VII? Yeah, wait till you get to it, man.
People had other shit to be shocked about in Final Fantasy VII.
It's like, it's stupid. And it's funny because in future Final Fantasy games, that stuff never happens again either. Like, you never have a whole segment dedicated to stupid shit like that. So I don't like it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be cringeworthy. I'm actually happy it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, because in the original there was worse stuff, but I'm just happy we're done with it now, okay? And now we can just say, we'll never talk about it again. We'll act about like nothing happened, and we'll just continue on with a good game. Because until that point of Wall Market, I liked the game. I've hated all the time in Wall Market, and hopefully now we can continue on with the game and it'll be good again, okay? Alright, a couple shout outs. Oh, this is disgusting. Alright, I haven't enough of him. Guy's saying fucking disgusting stuff, so he's banned. Beastbot just gifted a sub to Shadow the Hedgehog. Congratulations, Shadow, and thank you, Beastbot, for the support. Alright. Let us now move on, my friends. It was a different time. The 1990s were a different time, okay? Let's see if they're okay.
The one major takeaway I have before we get to the moral, and that's the fact that he had to virtue signal this. Phil Burnell is a 38-year-old unhealthy man baby, with the mentality of a 12-year-old and the IQ of one that is 6, who spends all day begging for money in front of wheelchair man babies and kids. The people who are in those situations that you talked about have people who are more caring and more competent to fight for them. They don't need you as an ally, and they definitely don't need you as a weird leeching orbiter who is crying about a game from the PlayStation 1. And thank God we never have to talk about it ever again.
Alright, I think that was a good time. Let's save up. Call it a day here. Thank God we're done with Walmart. And it'll never be spoken of again. I think
you said that a couple minutes ago.
Later on, at least in the original Final Fantasy VII, later on in the game you could go back there and there was optional stuff you could do to earn extra items and stuff. But I'm just so glad that segment's over. Like I said, that segment is 100% 1990s. It was made for, we want to be edgy. We want to get that teen demographic in the 90s to have this really silly, over-the-top sexualized segment. And it's really out of place for Final Fantasy. And now that it's over, we can focus on actually a game that plays like Final Fantasy again, and I'm happy about that, because that was like, seriously, 3 to 4 hours of cringe, and I'm just glad now that we're going to be able to focus on the game again, so very good. Okay.
And thank God we never talked about it again.
Bugs Bunny to me $7 says, thanks for the answer. You seem to be exaggerating during this segment, like the heavy sighs and face palming. I guess you're just really uncomfortable around that type of humor, because I don't find it funny. You know what I mean? Like, anytime you watch something that's intending to be funny, but you don't find it funny, it's uncomfortable. It actually feels like I feel uncomfortable when I'm watching something that, oh, this is hilarious. Like, oh, it's not hilarious. It's just really forced and bad and contrived. And
just like this whole thing is, self-awareness, my guy. Fucking get it.
There are people out there, like I said, during this segment, at the end of the segment, I tried to clarify my thoughts. I was like, you have to understand something, right? In this world, there are people who are right now having issues with their gender. They were born one gender, but they feel like they should be another. Like, deeply inside of them, their person is telling them, no, I'm not a man, I'm a woman, or I'm not a woman, I'm a man. Okay? I don't understand that, because that's never been my situation, but I understand it's legit, and it's something that people deal with on a daily basis, right? Why do we have to make fun of it? Oh, this guy now has to dress like a girl, and this guy's lusting all over him. It's like, that's not funny to me.
Alright, it's not funny to you. That means it doesn't have to ruin the game for you either. You can let that scene be a scene and just move on, and not sit here and bitch about it for bitching's sake.
It's just not. It's like, it's really like lowbrow, really cheap, oh, dumb people will like this kind of humor.
Isn't that your comedic wheelhouse though, Phil? All the lowbrow shit and pee jokes, the low-hanging fruit jokes, the jokes that make you look like a huge prick. That's your bread and butter, my guy.
And that's why I don't like that. I hated that. I definitely hated that segment of Final Fantasy VII. Thank you for the $7 tip, Bugs Bunny.
Does he not notice the importance of that username? Is that shit just going right over his head? It's just going right over his head, okay.
Well, Alone Light says, I'm proud of you for speaking for people who have no voice. Wear that vest in pride, brother. I'm certainly not intended to do that, but I'm just speaking my mind.
It doesn't seem like you're speaking your mind. It seems like you're grabbing at anything because you want to be upset at something.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this week's Minecraft stream. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Someone else insulting me, saying that cross-dressing and transgenderalism aren't the same. I know that. And it's pretty stupid, because they're handling it like a joke. I don't think it's a joke. So I have the right to say that. If you don't agree with me, that's fine too. But I'm not going to talk about it all night.
I mean, this is the 4th time you've brought it up. Reckon it won't be the last, and I have a feeling you're going to talk about it at the end of the game, because somebody's still hung up about seeing this from like 20 fucking years ago.
Or waste my time trying to get into arguments with people who are just trying to bait me. So, no.
Well, that's a real classy way to end that, Phil. Real mature. Moral of the story, if Dave says he's done talking about something, he's not done talking about it. That probably means shit's ramping up. Sadly, just like the opposite of this shitpost. Because I'm calling it here. Thank you so much for watching another one of my weird-ass videos. If you would like to cyberbully me, you can do that on my Twitter, @BasedOzlo. Thank you so much again for watching. Be safe and make good choices.